AI.
Well, a Melbourne law firm has designed a free program to help people represent themselves in court.
Well, the developer of an artificially intelligent legal assistant claims to be opening the world's first law practice without lawyers in Darwin.
What the recent advances allow in AI is some of the tasks that would have traditionally been unable to be automated can now be automated.
And will provide people going through the court system unrepresented an avenue to state their case.
Artificial intelligence has the ability to analyse massive amounts of data in a matter of milliseconds, and now that same technology is being adapted to help lawyers here in Korea with their research.
Hello, my name is Siew.
I'm Mark Findlay.
I am Jerrold.
I am a litigation lawyer with many years of experience behind me.
Professor of Law at the Law School, Singapore Management University. I'm also the Deputy Director of the Centre for Artificial Intelligence and Data Governance.
I am a co-founder of Quanta Private Limited, where I primarily oversee the startup's data science research and development efforts. Concurrently, I'm a lecturer at the SMU School of Law, and I also do research primarily in the intersection between AI and law.
Well, there are a couple of tools or applications out there that involve AI in the legal industry.
Three main areas. First is due diligence and other types of document review, like discovery. Second area is research. Third area is document generation.
If you call automated data management AI, then firms are pretty quickly picking up, the big firms in particular.
We've only begun to see local or Singapore law firms adopt some of these technologies in the last about 2 to 3 years.
If you interpret AI very generally, though, a lot of legal research is being impacted upon by AI. Lawyers are consulting information databases. The other area, interestingly, of artificial intelligence being introduced into the legal profession is in relation to judicial decision making and the decision of arbitrators and mediators. That's not happening in Singapore at the moment.
By all means, take up AI, understand it.
There are positive benefits in law students knowing something about the potential of various forms of data management technology. But as I said, there's also a big argument to say that that's a two-way street. It might be only as good as the experience that are given to algorithm designers, young information technologists, to understand what it is that they're designing AI for.
Use it in law school, get a better understanding of it, then you can use it better. And that's going to be helpful to yourself when you come out to practice, and it will be helpful to somebody like me who's going to be employing young lawyers.
A lot of the solutions that are marketed, and they are going to be increasingly marketed for sure, because this is now a very fashionable thing, is that, oh no, this system uses AI, or what they call natural language processing, to look through all the documents and then extract all the information. And it's important to know what the limitations of these softwares are, what the strengths of this software are, and how best to use the software in a way that maximizes the strengths and minimizes the weaknesses. And it might not be intuitive to somebody who isn't really familiar with the concept of machine learning, for example, because they have different strengths and weaknesses. Somebody who with proper training would be able to use the software a lot better than somebody without the kind of knowledge or experience at least. And that's why I think it is definitely quite important.
Area which I think is important is about language. So we need to teach young professionals who don't know much about algorithmic decision making not to be frightened of the language, but we could teach them to understand what the language is and how to use that language. The thing I think which is important is to teach them what AI can and can't do. They ultimately have to make the decision about what we do with it. By knowing more about AI, will that make you more employable? It may.
If we're going to be talking about general AI, then it really shouldn't be about being put into these various different modules. It's got to be a way of teaching AI very much more integrated into the general subject of law.
Centre for Artificial Intelligence and Data Governance. That centre was created by a government fund in the law school to give the opportunity for research into data regulation and governance. And the regulation of AI has been way behind the science and technology. So what the government, I think, is trying to do is to say, by locating this research within a law school, and you might say, what's it doing in a law school? By putting it here, they're saying what we want you guys to do is not tell us about new technologies or tell us about new science, but to tell us about the extent to which we need to consider regulating and controlling that. See, SMU was originally set up as an interdisciplinary university. The idea was that we wouldn't have separate silos. That in fact, even though we were doing accountancy course or we're doing a course in law or whatever, we would cross-fertilise. Now, I don't think we've achieved that, and I don't think it's impossible to achieve. In fact, I think that maybe new areas of innovation like AI could stimulate that discussion again, because I think what would be really useful is, rather than saying, let's have a specialist course for law and one for accountancy and one for blah, blah, blah in relation to AI, what would be really useful is to have some cross-school programs which shared AI knowledge and the knowledge of AI technology and development with those other areas of need, so that the information technology students could learn something about what AI is being applied to and for, and the law students and the accountancy students and the business students could learn the language of AI, and they could learn something about the way in which AI would be better used for. So I think that that's a very productive way of going forward. It's everywhere. And I think therefore what we need to do is we need to have educational opportunities which are broad, which look at the social location of AI and look at the way in which AI and the knowledge of AI can better enhance particularly professional training, so that the areas of professional service delivery become better, cheaper, more accessible.
This can take the form of Share, a proposed open source portal that is a collaboration among the major higher education institutions in Singapore. This portal will provide users with the latest updates in the field of AI and other forms of technology. Users, such as students and faculty members, will also be able to gain access to recorded classes conducted in other universities simply by entering the topic of their interest. Classes will be suggested according to their interests, and users can choose which ones they would like to watch. In addition, based on their interests, users can update themselves on the major upcoming conferences related to AI. Share will provide details on these conferences, such as the speakers, as well as the issues covered. To allow inter-university discussions, a forum is also featured on the site, where both students and faculty members can interact with experts and peers on various topics and latest developments in the AI field. It is hoped that such an open source portal will encourage knowledge sharing among the major institutions, further enhancing current research and learning capabilities in the field of AI in Singapore.
With power and understanding, you are able to then deal with this strange creature called AI a lot better. If that knowledge comes from other universities around the world, the faculties within your own university, sure, by all means share that information. Gee, sharing is so easy. Knowledge is power.
If you ask me, I think the first and foremost thing that anybody's got to realize about AI, right, is that it doesn't exist, right? There is no legal personality to speak of. In fact, there is even no factual personality. It's just a few lines of code on a laptop.
There are things that I will never be able to understand about AI because I don't have the kind of exposure throughout the years of my practice about AI. A student coming out, having learned about AI, having understood about AI in law school, when he or she comes out into practice, that brings a new perspective. And as an employee, value that. When strong AI becomes pervasive, then the whole situation is very different. I cannot quite yet envisage how legal practice will be like, because the day that we have strong AI, it's not just going to affect the legal profession, it's going to affect the entire society. Yes, there is an unknown.
With the greater introduction of artificial intelligence, there will be less need for junior associates and for paralegals. So that will contract an already contracting market. And so there are going to be a number of young law students who want to go into legal practice who will be unable to do so because those possibilities will be closed to them.
It's always going to be a tool for me. And it's a means to achieve something, And if you leave it there like a hammer, it's not going to break anything. It's just a hammer lying on the table or something. That's just it. It's just a very powerful weapon, of course, but on its own it's not going to do anything. But because it's such a powerful tool, people who know how to use it can very well disrupt the entire industry.